Okay. All right. I got this thing going. I can't read fast enough. All right. This is part two of the live I began with a little bit earlier this morning. I said I'd come back on StreamYard just in case. Just in case somebody did want to talk. I'm look. I'm talking, okay? Look, y'all can come get what you need over here, and you can do what you need to do with it. Um, I'm sitting here. Hey, Koja. I'm sitting here trying to see what update. It says there's two updates, but all your update is saying is you're still shut down. Okay, that's not comforting. That is not comforting. Hey, DOD, let my girl go. How come I don't see Koja? Let me fix this. Koja, you up here?
I'm here.
I can't see you. I don't know what type of girl. I don't know what type of layout I got going on. Okay, that's a little better. How you been, hon?
Oh,
I fixed it.
I've been
Everything.
good. I've been good.
So did you wake up to this madness, girl?
Child, this madness been coming. It's been a long time coming. Who ain't
I
seen it?
I know. I can't even really act surprised because I knew it was coming. I didn't know it was gonna hit, like come today like this, but it's here. So what have you anything you've gathered new? I on my first video I did already cover look at DOD time I said shut it down. I did cover that it happened roughly around midnight. Um we got 4 million people, government shut down, out of job, out of pay. Conveniently, Congress has their jobs, and then the paid employees that rank in the $174,000 income bracket are still working, but we missing workers like air traffic controllers, the other essential jobs, all the government smaller people they would consider the smaller jobs that are helping keeping this society civilized are not being paid, whether they choose to go to work or not. Okay, so that's where I left off at because I was just getting the information. You got anything you want to say and add to this? Because I'm trying to follow it and keep up.
We are marching ourselves into the oven. You know, when I actually been saying this for a very, very long time. We think that people with suits and high degrees know more than what our eyes see. Um, when are we going to do something? And what are we going to do? Because this is going to a place that will be a point of no return. We
Right.
actually have some things in place right now that we should be doing. Like, it just makes no common sense, the stuff we allow. Like a police officer, and I don't care what Scott says, a police officer can pull you over, or they can come and say they're investigating you,
Mm-hmm.
but they cannot articulate what they're investigating you for. If they can't articulate what they're investigating you for, it's a fishing expedition. And when our federal courts and stuff uphold it, or our state courts make this case law, we sit back and do nothing. We sit back and do nothing. And when people like me say, hey, this is happening, I say, bitch, you crazy. But we're watching it. And what are we going to do? We still have leverage to do it and do, but it takes actual work.
Well, Coach, now that we're shut down, those same officers, you do realize hey, they're not being governed right now. Like that is a government, even it's a state job, but that the government is regulating that. Law enforcement, we got what? Let's just throw some things out of here casually. We got law enforcement, we got our medical, our paramedics, our fire departments, 911 dispatchers. I'm just thinking general what people day to day. I haven't even. I'm gonna have to
Well,
hold
I hope
it.
we put up our medicine and we collected it because we knew it was coming. We
I ain't gonna
knew
see
this
DJ.
was coming. And so I hope when I was telling everybody, hey, whatever you can get, if you could get your stuff filled and whatever extras you get on your stuff, get it refill, refill, refill. Don't wait. If it's a PRN, stock up because this is coming.
Yeah,
And this will
right
pass.
now,
We need this. We need this. They need to be out of that. So the people who 4 million people that's been sitting back comfortable will say, let me get off my butt and get in action mode so this doesn't happen again. When we get through with this, w- I hope we don't forget about it. And I hope we actually get off our butt and do something.
and you're right, but how much of an ass whooping are we gonna take? Because Koji, you know the FDA is included in this shutdown. The Food and Drug
Mhm.
Administration, you guys, is included in this shutdown. Now, as of right now, they have not stopped policing our medication and drug. But let me tell you what they are policing. Okay, they're not policing the food, the livestock,
Sure.
human, and veterinary drugs. So some of them they are,
But
some of them not. I don't know about the pets. Is looking like they might be out there on their own.
you better
Biological,
get to your Tractor Supply store and get you some ivermectin and some other stuff.
medical devices, also cosmetics, and let's not forget for you smokers, alcohol and tobacco products fall under FDA too.
We get our stuff from China. All our cosmetics and stuff comes from China. You get Timo and Shein, and you're gonna be okay because it's still coming from over there.
But the thought of somebody not regulating and me knowing the past and
Why?
how sick folk can
Why are
get.
we comfortable with the United States? The United States have stuff we allow in our foods that other countries don't. From my understanding, the Coca-Cola version that we buy is not the ones that other countries accept because they allow stuff in our food in the US that
That's
other
correct.
countries do not accept. So why are
Right.
we saying, oh, the FDA protecting us when other countries that we consider S-hole countries don't allow? Or was
Yes.
it Minnesota been putting um sewage sludge in the farmlands, thousands and thousands of acres? It's not going to be farmable.
Good
And
morning,
it's been going
everybody.
on forever.
You
So
guys.
you really care about them?
Oh no, I was making a point to for the people. Um, when I guess the security of knowing somebody at least kind of looking, we go
No,
to places and we see how cleanliness of an environment. I want to believe somebody actually came in there and checked and
no,
tested and they didn't just give you
no.
96 or 100. That you're
I
not
never
just
watched Matrix. So I don't know which is red pill or blue pill.
right.
But if you want to live under the illusion of a false security because these people are clocking in that you have more protection than what you have, you can choose whichever pill that is. Or if you want to live in the reality. There are some things they do, but it's a whole lot. When they had said about 8, 9 years ago, we could ship your chicken overseas and let them clean it and ship it back. We can remove the label of where your stuff was processed at and this and that. And we like, okay. So
because
if we want to have that
with
false sense of
with
security,
right. Because there are some people, you got simple minded people. There are those that do not think as broad as you do. And we got to think about the majority. Although, I mean, I don't want to sound mean and insensitive and say, good luck, oh, well, so be it. If you don't, I don't want to come off like that because some people need to be really concerned because with the FDA pushing out certain medical equipment that people aren't going to be able to get right now, you got some people who don't know what to do. They can't get their oxygen tank, their oxygen machine. They can't get their asthma medication. They don't have a backup plan. They're going to be suffocating, and I don't
I
like,
will hope that I was telling people stock up, stock up, stock up, stock up, stock up. But we need this. We need this now. Because if we don't get this now, what is taking place in our politics, we won't get it. We may have an opportunity to pull some stuff back, but it's not. And when people was up here talking about the soft life, that hurt I was so angry when they talk about soft life, soft life, soft life. And then what I was saying then when I was talking about the soft life, here we are.
well, the soft life isn't going to change some people. I don't know.
No, but it's the mentality. Don't worry
Okay,
about nothing.
No, that the soft life isn't. I don't have any worries. The soft life. This is two separate things, Koja. The soft life. Women saying that. I don't know about men, but when a woman says I'm coming into my soft life era, she's letting go of those hardened things and just that's supposed to be about coming into
Child,
womanhood.
when men ever took care of anything like they supposed to? And that when I mean men, I mean in your government, in your
I
jobs, in
swear,
your everything.
man.
Everything that's happening now is men. But we want to be in our soft life and not be concerned. They don't care about a lot of stuff. So
You,
our influence.
hold on. You can be yourself. Like I'm still concerned. I came up here first thing when I woke up and saw we were only 7 hours into the shutdown and came out here and made a public announcement. But honey, that's not gonna stop me from going and getting a manicure. Let's not get it twisted. Hey, those are two separate things. You're putting together, combining. These are two
No,
separate.
but it was like women shouldn't be working. That was part of that thing. You'll stay at
Okay,
home.
well,
You
I don't
don't,
know what that got to do. That don't have anything to do with
because
this government shutdown.
our influence in these jobs and stuff is actually what keeps stuff going. Women's influences in a lot of these areas.
Well, in a lot of these areas that was in Congress that caused this shutdown, didn't have anything to do with who was male or female. It had everything to do about that bill that was put before them, and they could not decide or vote on the bill. Okay. Yes, the South Life ain't got nothing to do with this shutdown. That South Life is because the Republicans and the Democrats are playing tug of war, and nobody will budge. No
I
one's
don't want the
budging.
Democrats to budge. I don't want the Democrats to budge. I
Okay,
don't,
well, you do understand.
because
So then you're
it's
what you're
okay.
saying. Well, what you're saying is contradictory because
I don't
the
want them to
Republicans
budge.
don't want us to have no Medicare. Look, Medicare is also being affected, not just Medicaid. Our old folks, our grannies, our papas. You know, there's not Medicare is. You can be a retired person like my mom before she passed. She had Medicare and her Alabama teacher retirement, and she had three different health insurance. I'm like, Mama, which one? I just give them all the cards. I would give them all the cards because I don't know which one, but they would put them all together. You know, you can retire and still apply for. I mean, be qualified for Medicare Part B, which lowers your healthcare insurance. Those same programs right now are shut down. Okay, they don't have. It's not working. Somebody is going to. It's going to affect people. Okay, just because an opinion on how we should live and which we should be concerned about. That's all nice and dandy, but to wake up and have just be stripped of the benefits that you are entitled to, that you need, something that you work for, they're not all stuff for the free ski.
I'm not expecting this to go on that long. If it does go on that long, okay.
Okay.
But they'll get back to business. But if every time, what to say, I keep bending till I break, if every time they go on a little list and you getting stripped packages, and then they saying, well, the Democrats not doing what they supposed to do. Like, we don't have none of the levers to do
Okay,
almost
that's not the
anything.
okay.
And
Hold
I'm
on,
and I'm saying they need this. We're not gonna be shut down long. If we be shut down for a month, I'll be surprised.
Kosher,
But if they
kosher.
keep,
No, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. You 4 million people not working in government jobs that are regulating our society is massive. This is 4 million, Kosher, not 4,000.
well, the checks for October that should already be done sent out
Okay, but there are
on
only
their
more
way.
checks that come out on the first. You got the fifth checks that come out.
Okay.
You got the 15th that come out, and there's also the third. You got the third check that comes out. The fifth. There's one on the 15th. What about those people that are getting paid? Other resources. This is way bigger than just how anybody feels. This is just people that the collapse of our society cannot just happen because somebody can't decide on a vote on a bill.
We are collapsing.
Healthcare insurance. This wasn't a bill put forth that was going to be apocalyptic. This wasn't a bill that was going to determine some major political change. It was about healthcare and limiting healthcare. Mm-hmm. And it was so massive that they could not come to a decision. Nobody would budge because it was that night and day. They couldn't meet in the middle.
I mean, I stopped following. Who made these massive cuts?
The Republicans.
Okay. So the only agreement that Democrats have is to go along with it or stand against it.
Right.
So they're doing what they're supposed to do, which is stand against it.
Yes.
And if this
and
what
at the
it
cost, takes, but I was just saying how far off. The Republicans, you couldn't meet them somewhere. You got to cut everything. They really wanted to take back everything, not just okay. We'll trim back a little Medicare, but we'll trim back a little Medicare. They were making massive pulls that went all the way down, affecting all the way to infants.
And Mima
They
and
wouldn't.
Pawpaw in Minnesota and the farmers.
Little baby Juju, who can't get formula now because
Uh,
that's
uh,
a
uh,
government program. We have to like they don't deserve to suffer because y'all can't come in. The Republicans want to be so excessive with it. My gosh, I mean, if you want to, you can't just
for the
cut down a
ones
little
who
bit.
still got milk, keep your milk coming. And maybe this will be a thing, but to get back to breastfeeding for the ones who ain't got their milk, we're
Now,
gonna put
Cody,
something in place.
you're a nurse, and that is so unfair for you to say that. I mean,
Hey,
God,
it's actually, I
some
mean,
people have a
I would
breastfeeding.
let if
What
I
if you
got milk
can't?
coming or
But
I'm
if you
finna have
can't
a baby.
breastfeed, that's not fair. Some people cannot breastfeed for medical reasons beyond them. My milk was contaminated. I caught an infection in my breast when I was pregnant, mastitis,
Yeah, but
and I could not breastfeed. Blood was coming in out
I
within
say
in my
for the
milk.
overwhelming, for the ones that can do it, for the ones who can do it safely, which is a majority of people that can't do it safely. This is a wake up call. This is a
Okay,
wake
well
up call for
that's
us.
not realistic, honey. I don't know
We're
if I
gonna get
can give
through
my
it.
baby some milk. I don't know what the neighbor next door got going on in her milk. What she take? Is she on anything? I mean, we don't live in a world anymore where there's a nursemaid around. Girl, what world you live in? Ain't no nursemaids around here that who milking. You just can't pull up and find a nursemaid. Your
Well,
baby going to
some
store.
pregnant people finna have and true capitalism when one industry falls, another one rises. So the pregnant women now finna have them a good old income because they're gonna be able to pump their milk and sell it.
And how are they going to get paid when people are out of jobs and
Yes,
out of food, out of cigarettes? Child, you ever
we're
seen a
gonna be on
person
a
run out
barter
of a pack of
economy.
Newports?
I actually support limiting and spending as much money as possible, only doing the necessities. Because I sat up here and saw a CEO say we need to get the unemployment rate around 50%. And this was when I was going on YouTube and listening real tough and on the panels. And I think I even said that. And this was some years ago, and we're doing it here. They have foretold us what they're planning on doing to gain stuff, and we have not been listening. And these people think this is a one person have power, just like JD Vance got in front of them and said about China. They forget there are other avenues, and we're gonna have to exercise our other areas of which we have control. See, you can be a seller, but if you got a seller with a warehouse or stockpiles of stuff, the only thing you have is stockpiles of junk. And we need to start exercising more so what we did to Target to everyone and barter. Because when you barter, you take money out of the pockets of those businesses that do it. And I'm not saying it, but they got to realize that you can have all this, but if you don't have a customer base to sell all that to, and I know we can't do it all, but we need to cut down to
Okay,
the
well,
bare
let's take
minimum
the
to
time. Hey,
realign this
LGF.
stuff.
I forgot who LGF is on there. Is that you, Malik?
Hey, yeah,
No, that's
listen, I'm
come
gonna
on
wait.
in.
Miss Lady got a couple good points, but let's be clear: the Democrats are the one that's holding this up. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at it this way, right? And I'm not going to say any particular denomination of politics, but you got the blue people who want everything given to them. So, Beachy, let's just say you work 30 years and you put your blood, sweat, and tears in it, right? And now you got little Tasha from the projects who's a history of their whole family being on Section 8, welfare, all these programs, and they just using them not to get ahead and better themselves, but to live. Do you think that that's fair? That's first.
In my little small town, most of the kids that grew up in the project are now in the middle class
Okay.
or higher because that stereotype that y'all push It's actually not accurate. And most of my family members that might have gotten some form of substance, because people get real spicy, but they was getting free lunch and acting like that. People get real spicy and forget that 5% down to purchase your first home was a government program. And they talk about these entitlements without realizing they done sucked off the titty of them entitlements too.
Okay,
So if you got your home under one of them government programs, or even, I would even say student loans. You are up here talking about those entitlements. Those are the entitlements. But we only tend to correlate them with traditional welfare and food stamps.
Okay,
oh,
hold on,
okay,
y'all.
so hold on, Beachy.
We're deviating from
No,
from
no, no,
what
no, we're not, because I
the
kind of take it.
workers.
She's throwing the shot. So, Miss Lady, it sounds like you're from the South, right? So I
The
want you. I
south
want
of
to
the
be
south of the south of the south, South
okay.
Florida. Get it
Okay,
right.
so I want to be clear with you that those programs, if you worked for them, you got the ability to use them. We're talking about the people who that's all they do. No disrespect to any woman that's listening, but they have babies so that the government can continue to take care of their child. It's a
When you talk
difference.
about, no, sir, when you talk about those entitlements and you don't talk about the entitlement these farmers been getting and the welfare that been going on since the United States was created, and all the other entitlements that we don't see as welfare, that we very well see as welfare now, because you hear the farmers talking about it. They've been going on for hundreds of years
Okay,
and today. But you
so
want to talk about a little percentage of welfare. But see, when you want to give it a one-sided view and not talk about the other side, you have drank the Kool-Aid. Now, I'm not saying nobody should be on Section 8 for the entirety of their life, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what you're talking about is actually not accurate. You have actually drank the Kool-Aid.
Miss, first of all, I don't know your name, but don't put words in my mouth. I
Told you.
haven't drinking any Kool-Aid. And if you allow me to talk, you will see what I'm saying. And again, you come from Florida, correct?
Exactly. Yes.
Right. So you have a vast part of Florida who's affluent, correct?
Florida is one of the
Oh,
richest states, and they have
okay. So
it
now,
has,
so
actually,
excuse me, man.
Florida has, I think, the state with the most millionaires in it, because our laws are constructed in a way that every millionaire should own a home in Florida. So yeah,
That's
there's
not
a
true. It's
great
California.
wealth
It's
disparity in
California.
Florida.
It's California, and fifth is Maryland. Has the most millionaires per capita is Maryland. And
That's it.
again, see, man, once again, I
I
didn't want to
said
come.
one of the states, and I said they all advocate for owning a home in Florida.
So again, man, you're speaking on a home, just like you said I was speaking on welfare to a specific group of people, and I wasn't. But I'm gonna go on mute and I'm gonna let you talk, because see, I got it already. You're gonna say what you want to say, and you're not gonna allow anybody else to talk.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Again,
so let me back it up. Let's back up. All right, so we all understand this happened at midnight. We all understand that we haven't even seen yet the outcome and what the ripple effects are going to be from 4 million government employees no longer uh, responsible. Okay, whether or not they choose to go in or not, hey, that's up to the person. Nobody can make them work. Well, I don't know. It depends on what type of job you got. Some people may be forced. Now they still do. I take that back. I retract. There are some people who are going to still have to work, knowing that they don't have an income because their job requires them to do so. There are positions like that maybe we can't think of off the top of our head or we don't know exist, but there are government jobs that got to keep going. Somebody got to cut Congress check. They might not be going, but whoever worked down at payroll for Congress, I bet you they still going to work and cutting checks with and not getting a check because those people still getting paid. So the shutdown did not have anything yet to do with programs. It has not tripped. It just happened. It, of course, that's going to be the short term and long term effect because government runs this, government does that, but the jobs entail. The jobs are where it's going to start. It's going to start there, and then we're going to see as it ripple down. The food, okay? The food is going to be affected. Nobody monitoring. Coach, I heard what you said about nobody's checking before, and I get you the Matrix and this illusion of stuff. Ma'am, I don't know, Coach, you cannot tell me that nobody is policing our stuff. Someone is doing some policing of our food. There is not just they pretending to do it but not doing it. There may be some things folks turn a blind eye on here and there, but the food is being policed. Maybe it the best of its ability. And you know how we know that? The death rates from when it was before. Do we need to pull up the laws and statistics of how many folks
I
died
think it's
before
Minnesota.
the FDA? Before the FDA came into existence, how bad people were dying from the poisoning, how underdeveloped children were coming out because of these warehouses with zero regulation, nobody watching them, nobody holding them accountable. If something was found contaminated, nobody now can say, pull the Enfamil off the shelves, pull the cranberry sauce off the shelf. Nobody is saying that right now. It's all up for grabs. Nobody can monitor expiration dates on stuff. There are people who might not even know the shutdown going on. They're going in shopping like it's a regular day. The meat department probably already doing scandalous stuff, changing dates. They're not watching. Nobody gonna be able to come back and who gonna check us. We don't live in a who gonna check us society, except for the people who can't be checked. But the rest of us, there got to be somebody doing the checking. We don't just live in it's free for all. Good luck with it. Even if we're not the best, and we got other additional stuff in our foods and all these things that conspiracies folks come up with. But the bottom line is that I feel confident in going into my neighborhood in Dixie, and I don't think if I buy this pack of chicken, I'm gonna come home and hopefully not die. I don't have that worry because I do believe they're going by a standard. I know there's some type of regulation going on, and that the owners of that franchise know they're going to be held accountable if they're putting out poison chicken or killer cow meat. They're going to be held accountable massively. So I don't live in I hope we wake up to see another day by eating this bag of Cheetos. I don't live in that world. Okay, so it is major. It is super major.
Right now, I think it's Minnesota. They've been talking about the stuff that's been seeping into our veggies and our fruits, the forever chemicals. I want to say the sewage waste that they use to fertilize thousands of acres of crops and things of that nature that was done. I'm not saying this here, I don't think it's going to last forever. It's going to come out. And I'm just saying, I hope it's a shock enough to the system. I don't foresee that. I'm not hoping that this go on like for months and months, but I hope it's a shock enough to the system where people can realize that, hey, we need to get up and we need to do something more than what we're doing. And when this next Congress come around, that we say, when we get a freeze on government and stuff, and the government go into lockdown, that we need a law that say Congress don't get their checks either, that Congress benefits be done, and our legislators can sponsor that, and we need to have this on the bill so there is never an incentive for them to do it, even though most of them are millionaires and really don't care. At a minimum, they need to do what we do, and Congress can sponsor that bill, and we need to be on the thing. Hey, you going? We want you all to sponsor this bill. I'm very disappointed right now in how people are fighting.
Man, you just mentioned two good points. So one, it's not going to affect food that fast because everybody has to eat. Republicans, liberals, everybody got to eat. So the first thing, it's not going to affect food like that. So that's first and foremost. However, if you are already living a certain way as far as how you shop and how you pick your produce, your protein, etc., you are already ahead of the game with your own personal food habit. Second, I'm not sure, but is Winn-Dixie like a Whole Foods, or that's like a local chain?
Yeah, it's a local grocery chain. I just use them for an example. They're like a a Publix.
Okay,
I
all
guess
right.
it's a southern thing, more of a southern
Yeah.
type store,
So
southern
now
East Coast.
when you look at that particular dynamic in whatever particular area you are in your state, is it a food desert already, or is you have a numerous amount of markets to shop at? Because a lot of what we're about to see, we already saw. I think the last government shutdown was 2019, 2020, and I think it was 45 days. I think it was 45 days.
It
I
was
know
it
it was
was
under 2 months.
yeah, it was in 2018, 2019 for 35 days. That's the
Okay,
longest one we've ever had.
so
But
so
I don't
now,
remember how many people on that last. Let me see if I can find that, and I'll come back and tell you how many people on the last government shutdown. I don't remember there being 4 million people, but I could be wrong. Anybody know that number? DOD, you want to look, and I'm going to look too, and then while y'all are talking, let me see if I can find that number. Okay.
But
well,
while we're talking about food, I'm just going to put this out there because I'm always put it out. Be forewarned that come December, if this present state of what's going on continue, the shelves for things like tomatoes, etc., is going to be very limited because most of that stuff, and you go check out my TikTok, I walk through the grocery store during this winter time to show people what actually was not grown in America, in where we get the majority of our stuff when it's December, when it's November, and things like that.
so
So
what?
I'm giving some
Be specific
preparation.
on what you're talking about.
When you go, number one, we don't got no bananas grown in the United States, period. Your things like your tomatoes, your cucumbers and stuff. You might get some brassicas, like some lettuces and stuff from America, but the majority of red vegetables and stuff come from Mexico, and I would say Caribbean countries. The majority of it. When the next time you go on your Costco, and I do have a TikTok, it's Cynthia_Wheeler 7. You go up there, and I went and I may upload it here to point out all of the things that we eat that make life comfortable for us in America that come from these other countries, as well as just heard it the other day. I mean, yesterday about the coffee. We don't grow coffee. We don't grow tea. We don't grow vanilla. It's going to be a very white diet. You're going to have potatoes, corn, and soybeans because everything that makes this country, all of the seasoning, most of the spice don't even come from America.
Y'all see those
So
numbers, right? I got to interject so I can give the answer for anybody before you leave. The number is 800,000. So yes, it was 2018 at the end of the year and ran over to January 2019 on the government shutdown. Those were only 800,000 employees. Not only, like, I'm not saying there's nothing, but 800,000. It's 4 million today. So model
Okay,
us didn't feel that last one, and it was 35 days, correct?
so now
But
take
it's
take
like
that
put it out there
500%
so you
more.
have the
now.
numbers.
Take the shutdown out, because right after the shutdown became COVID, right? Am I
Yes.
correct? Right. So
Yeah.
now let's look in the grand scheme of things, and no, not downplaying it. Should we really be focused on the shutdown or what next man-made pandemic is coming?
That's what I mentioned in my earlier video. I was like,
They are
what?
already talking about it. I forget the name of it. I think it
All I
started
know
with a
is,
G.
what's up? Good morning. And the
Good morning.
shutdown is that at that massive amount of number. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't
Okay,
know.
so
That's why we're
now,
having a discussion. You guys run it. I'm still making sure I'm keeping up with the updates and he's making sure numbers are right. So we at least putting out accurate stuff.
well, Beachy, again, they told you this Sunday. What happened Wednesday night? I mean Tuesday night.
No, this
They
just
already
happened.
told
This
you.
happened this past midnight. We just woke up to this.
Listen
So
to
that
me,
would have been
Beachy. Listen, they had already talked about it a week ago. It was evident. It was coming. It was already told you it was coming. Like I
yeah.
heard you say, my daughter woke up and showed me this. Beachy, you
Today.
knew last week what was going to come. It was right there.
Yeah,
Last night we knew it was coming.
yeah.
Didn't Chuck
I
Schumer get
knew
up
it
on the
was
floor
coming.
and did a speech about
My
it?
bad.
Just Chuck Schumer just did a speech about it
Yeah.
yesterday or something.
So
Yeah,
again, the
I knew it
biggest
was
thing.
coming.
So now the biggest thing is like, what's the next man-made pandemic? Because COVID, we all know, was man-made. They made everybody run out here and buy hand sanitizer and toilet paper. Only if you washed your hands before, you was already in the habit of washing your hands. And if you look now, look at how many people still don't wash their hands. So again, like, what's going to be next? What are they going to put out here next to cause people to go into a mass hysteria? Because, like you said, Miss Cynthia, I think 7 at IG.
Culture.
Okay, so the whole shutdown is really for those who wasn't prepared. Because if you already got, like you're supposed to have, 6 months of this, 6 months of that, or even a year of this, a year of that, you already prepared. So you're not in the panic at all. And I'm not saying you specifically, but you get what I'm saying. It's not a panic. Just like when you mentioned you don't want us to start to spend what we should and not on just extra necessities, something to that effect. But I know you mentioned the barter system. So let's really look at it. The barter system was the thing back in the day. Hey, you cut my grass, I come past, wash your dishes. I'm just using an example. But again, a lot of people drink that juice and they on, I gotta prove to you that I have something versus I know what I got and I'm secure within me. So it's so many different dynamics now that this just the first day, Beachy. Let's see what happened come Friday night.
Right.
Because
yeah, that's why I just said, wow, we're here. We just got, that's why we're discussing it.
People but no, that's what I'm saying, because you mentioned something about today was the first, and what about the checks and all this and that. So that's not really the issue, because this much checks have already been printed. So now going forward, who gonna start to panic? Who gonna really put forth that work to prove that they deserve and they're gonna get out here and get it? Because at the end of the day, and I'm not downplaying nobody for how you feel or your personal political belief. If you're gonna go get it, you're gonna go get it, period. Be it if you're gonna make $1 million off of cigarettes or aspirin, however you gonna get your money, you're gonna get your money, because that's already embedded in you.
Okay, but somebody getting a check and going out and getting it by any means necessary, we know what that the mayhem, the chaos, those who can be hurt, innocent people, like nobody wants that. I'm just saying it's a headache. Like I don't want to have to, like, let me not even carry my purse out here and just carry my keys and use my phone and Apple Pay for anything. Like nobody wants to be thinking like that. And I don't know if all checks, let me find out, have all issued checks been distributed, because government checks are issued all the way throughout this month, not just on the 1st. So I'm going to find that out. Some people may have gotten their check on the 1st, might not be getting theirs on the 3rd. So I might not be getting the 5th check. So I might not be getting the 15th check or the 23rd. I don't know. But I'm going to find out.
Okay, so let's do this, Beachy.
No, I'm just going to say, you keep talking. I don't answer.
No.
I just want to be,
I'm saying take the dates out and the technicality of things, because we all know if you're working, your money has already been generated prior to you actually getting it on that date. So let's take that part out. Let's look at the bigger picture of what's around the corner, because we already at what's at our front door. What's around the corner? And how long? Go ahead, Beachy.
You say what's around the corner?
Yeah. And how long are people going to harp on what's at your front door? It's already at your front door. So you can't harp on it no more. Now, how do you attack it going forward?
I mean, I have my personal answer, but I'm not gonna speak on that this time. Y'all are free. I don't know what Aunt you came up. Generally, folks live by the day, and what people should do, how they should move, how they should prepare, what they should have done. Well, folks don't do that. Okay, people have been comfortable. People have been, don't plan for things like these. A lot of people will swear they stocked up and they ready for. I know people who've been stocked up, waiting for an apocalypse to happen that won't even, nothing that they have stocked up is going to help them survive. Because chances are you don't know what you might get hit with, and it probably be that very thing that you just don't have. So, you know, I'm gonna leave my opinion out on that. You know, all the ammo probably about to be getting bought up. But some people probably may go into a panic mode. I myself am not. And nor do I want to, put out that type of energy. But I do hear what you said about, 6 months of this, 6 months of that. And even after COVID happened in a pandemic, yet still, the odds of somebody having 6 months of over toilet paper stocked up.
Until I still got my COVID toilet paper in there unopened. I ain't gonna.
Some may, and some may not.
Yeah, and you know why, Koja? Because you the reason why we couldn't find no damn toilet paper. Because you done
Sir,
bought
I
all
didn't
the
have
damn.
no problem finding
You done
toilet
bought
paper.
4
Let me
years worth of
let
toilet
me tell you
paper.
something. I went right online during COVID to where the industrial people, where the commercial people order their shit from, and I got me a whole some stacks of that toilet paper that go on the big roll in the gas station. And that's why it's still in there open. And when I got some, I gave my coworkers some. I said, hey, this is what I paid for it. You want some? You want some? So I don't know why you weren't able to find toilet paper, but me in my small country ass town, I had toilet paper, bleach, beans, rice, everything, bacon, all of that. And I had collard greens in my backyard.
I tell you
Sounds
why
like
I
you live
couldn't
in
find it
Mar-a-Lago.
because you bought it all, Koja.
Well, if you need some paper to wipe your ass, I
I'm
ain't gonna
good. I don't
charge you
run out.
but double
I don't
for it.
run out of shit
I
paper.
ain't gonna charge you but double.
Oh wow.
That's
She gonna charge
illegal,
you double
Koja.
for one ply, huh? I got it.
I'm gonna price
enough Black and
gouge you.
Mouse, and
Yeah,
you got enough Black and Mouse stocked up because
I don't smoke black and mild.
I know I was being funny. I know you.
No,
Malik like him a black from time to time. Malik,
Malik
you know
don't
it
smoke.
gets
Malik
stale
did.
quick.
Malik never smoked Black and Mounds. Malik smoked Diamond Crown
I
number
mean, look,
5
I'm
cigars.
not
I'm not the
the
y'all.
government. No, the government shutdown was inevitable. So I knew that was coming. You know, like that was pretty evident. You could see that at the minimum. You know, like last week, it was just coming.
Did y'all think it was going to be that massive though? That it would go that,
That's a shock compared to before, because that's like 500% more than what happened last time. Because you say it was only 400,000, so that number is, concerning.
Yeah, that's
About
how
being so much more massive.
that's what hit me the number, because we have seen shutdowns. I don't know how many there's been, probably under 20, and since the 80s, I think I saw there's been like 14 since 1980, something like that. But not on this scale. It's a little large here. And I thought that was interesting what DOD said. Like, Trump, this is you on your third shutdown, bro.
Yeah,
He on his third. Are you coming here? You got to shut something down. That's interesting.
So now,
yeah. I mean that's the game. I mean, look, this is what these politicians do. That I'm just saying, these politicians do that. This is politics. They just create gridlock no matter what the hell is going on. Um, we saw shutdowns with Obama. We saw shutdowns with Clinton. I think there was a couple of shutdowns under Bush too, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, it was gonna happen, and of course, it's gonna get even it's gonna be a little worse, under Trump, because this is an economic president. That's what it is. So they over there doing all types of slimy stuff with them damn markets, with these, you know what I'm saying, and all of the shutdowns and everything else. So, it was bound to happen.
I'm
Bush
I will survive.
for 3 days. Y'all, okay. George W. Bush in 1990, his shutdown was for 3 days.
We will survive. And as long as I know how to love, I don't
Coach, I don't think love is going to produce, okay, some of these things that we are used to having, should it get that far, okay? That's just not how that works. Some people won't survive, okay? If you were sitting somewhere waiting on a life determining instrument or something that came through the government and you're not getting it, you very well may die. Okay, that's the reality of it. When I was talking about those oxygen tanks and all that stuff that comes straight on through the government and the FDA regulate those things, but for the fact that people, I don't want to see anybody. How many lives got to get lost? What type of point is it supposed to prove? So, what it doesn't prove anything. It seems to me, and it's just pointless casualties. And is there a lesson out of that? I'll come back and try to circle around to that. Like, what is the lesson supposed to be? It's just other than this is an uncomfortable and unfortunate situation that just has to happen because that's got to be. But I don't see anything. What is anybody going to learn from that? There's no lesson to it of how to better prepare or do anything. It's just going to be unfortunate, uncomfortable, and devastating for some, and life ending for others.
Well, I know I'm a little bit late, but it tell me get your body up in your yard and put some stuff out there. Now you might not be able to get everything, but we really should all be doing something. We really should. We really shouldn't be waiting for the government to feed us because in this time with everything that's happening, we should be making other plans, other different things. You just made me get off my butt and come outside because I was laying on the couch talking to y'all, and I said, "Let me get up and go outside and get some work in." And that's what we got to do. Don't wait for the government to feed you. Get out here, and when I say bartering, that's what I mean, bartering.
So, Beachy, let me see you go out to your yard and get to the tomatoes and the squash.
Oh, you'll
Look on
find
my collard greens that I just put on now.
You'll find leaves in my backyard and some whatever shrubbery that is around the fence. You will not find a single garden item because I don't have a garden. You will not find anything but some acorns, okay? Unless you're a squirrel and like to climb up on that oak tree I got and go in on those acorns, whatever going on up in there that's feeding the birds. But see, I don't operate under that, and I like to think of all the mouths I fed and continue to feed that I would be okay. But it's just not about me. It's just as a whole of society and that number and me trying. And also, I was hoping it would come up, and you might be able to help with that. Like, what all type of jobs are going to fall up under this 4 million category? Like I said, the only people was safe was Congress and those people that hit that income bracket of 174,000 and up. That's what I was going to look up. What jobs are those besides Congress? Everybody else got on the chopping block. Okay. And how did they come up with that number? That's interesting. I'm gonna have to dig to find that. They didn't want to just say.
Well, and what's your take?
Did he just cut out, or is it me?
No,
You
no,
say, what's
you.
your take?
What's your take? I want to hear your take before I log off and order my dick shot
On
later.
what part? Like, bro, this was actually expected, bro. Them politicians just be playing with niggas. They be playing with shit. But I mean, okay. So my take on this is, I'm pretty much the same place where Coach is. I know Beach too. She talking about it, but Beach knows she's straight. She don't give a fuck what's going on with the government. She gonna be good.
Yeah,
For real.
that was my point. That was my
She a
point right
hustler. So I mean, we straight, but it's mainly the government workers that's got to deal with that shit, bro. The government workers, and of course, those people that are dealing in securities and shit like that. I mean, with the markets, the markets are gonna take a hit from this shit, bro. So you know what I'm saying? If you moving money around through the stock market and you trading and shit, yeah, you're dealing with some shit right now. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you smart, you'll find a way to make some bread off of it. But people are gonna take hits to their 401ks. People are gonna take hits to their IRAs. Um, that's what it is. I know. I took a hit last time Trump shut the damn government down.
So
What was your money then?
Nah, I mean there wasn't nothing I could. This was my IRA, just my retirement
Um,
account. I mean,
I just
it's
want to
not. It
go
wasn't a big deal,
and, and
but I ain't worried about it. I can cash the shit out for about 13, 14 years. Ain't fucking way. But without getting penalized. But yo, you get a
how
look
many
at that
times
shit.
your 401k done went down
Nah,
since you've been working?
yeah. This took a
How many
dip.
times have it been dipped since you've been a working person? I
I'm
think
sure
I've
it.
done seen 3.
Yeah, I mean, no, as far as taking a dip. Well, I moved my shit into an IRA. That's what I had. But that was
I have
you said
already.
yours took 3 dips.
I said I think I done seen it dip 3 times since I've been a working adult.
Said mine was
Oh,
once. Once. That's it.
I think I'm
Well, I
Once.
older
do
than
That's
know
you.
some of the
gonna shut that
military
shit
is shut
down.
off right now. I
Huh?
can't believe that came for some of the military. The IRS shut down too. Hey, hey,
That's what
and
I'm saying. Them people going to take a hit, and our markets are going to take a hit.
loan processing employees shut down. Public health shut down. Some parts of there's some parts of the military. I guess they just sent,
I guess we can't go to war then.
um
ha ha, ha
IRS
ha.
shut down. Okay. I told y'all the air traffic controllers were shut down. All right. I was like, hold on now. Let's not you're going a little bit further.
I ain't
Veterans
planning on hopping
care.
on no
You
plane. If
got
I
our
got,
vets. Listen, our vets need their VA. Okay, the VA staff shut down. Like we our
I'm
vets
sure
need
nurses and doctors gonna still be there.
So
They
so
probably one of
hold
the
on,
people who
hold
mandated
on.
the work.
So Beachy, when you mentioned VA staff, we need to find out what particular part of the staff, because again, this whole thing seems like a money thing. It's all in who can maneuver their money to the safest spot and be set down the line. Because like Ann said, the
emergency
stock market,
service
all
shut down.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the, like, bro, the government workers and shit, they the ones that's gonna be fucked up, bro.
right. So
But
that's what I'm
everybody
saying.
else, for the most part, if you know how to move, you'll be alright.
And
Yeah, the
Beachy, you
military
just
is they
said
are
who?
they only people I see that's required to still work right now are military personnel, even though they're not getting paid. I did see that they will do back pay. They typically have always gone back and they will do back pay. So I want to put that on record because I wasn't sure about that earlier. But they still have to work, shut down or not. So we got the military. I don't see anybody else. VA health services, they payouts continue, but their regional offices will be closed and support services and claims process will be delayed. So whatever going on there is going to be
Okay.
delayed. So that's throwing the folks off. But
So
it doesn't say they're required to work.
The
but
school
Beachy
bus is
did
still gonna run. The
right.
cafeteria workers still gonna get paid at the school. The
Oh wait,
teachers
I
still
take
gonna,
it back. Oh, federal job contractors no
yeah.
guarantee of back pay.
The teachers still finna get paid.
Okay, Beachy, didn't you say something about first responders?
I wasn't sure. Tying all those in, yes, that's going to tie into some part of the government. Yes, I don't know about first responders. I said emergency services. Now I know they got emergency services, and there are like first responder emergency service. Then you got like I think I did see the national. Is it National Guard? Coast Guard? What, is that right? I don't haven't come across their name yet. I saw something. I just got to find it and keep scrolling.
So the
So go ahead.
so the National Guard is affected.
I don't know.
So
I have
right.
to find out.
So
On
see
the
right
military
right.
did not go into
But
specific.
believe it or not, though, Malik, a lot of this stuff be by design. That's why I don't like the way them people be playing like football with the people, bro. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's
Even when the markets drop, like just like Koja was saying too, bro. When the markets drop, dip, all of that stuff, that crap be affecting the price and availability of basic goods and everything else. And then you dealing with jobs and all of that other stuff. These people be doing this just to get agendas and stuff either blocked or passed on Capitol Hill
and I
just to
totally
screw up
agree.
a damn opponent or whatever. I'm like, bro, y'all playing games with the people over stupid stuff. You know,
And
just
I
like you said,
totally
that whole global pandemic stuff or manufactured pandemic, you know what I'm saying? That was a trick to get shit done.
right. So I agree with you. But when she said the National Guard, right, it automatically popped up in my head because Trump is heavy on trying to put the National Guard in certain metropolitan cities. So right there, see that was one of the things I was saying. What's the bigger picture that could come from the shutdown? Cause see, like me and you talked about Ant all the time. You're right. A lot of it is by design, but a lot of it is smoke and mirrors. Like I'm gonna throw this over here, but I'm really gonna blow all this up over here.
Yeah,
So
I agree with that.
in my eyes, like right now, everybody is looking at the shutdown, but the National Guard is heavy in Chicago right now. If you look, he giving off ICE members something like 75,000 to start off. That's higher than your local local police. So in the grand scheme of things, what's the money play? What's his end goal or their end goal as the Republicans? Because clearly, if we're going to stay focused on the shutdown, which mentions 10 different things, and I'll just say 10 as a number, over here, it's 20 things that they're going to get passed on their agenda. Because they're going to be like, check, 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 check. And we're going to miss it. We're going to miss what they're really trying to get through. So like you said, right now, and it seems like the Democrats are playing a game that they can't play because look at how many people are going to really be affected.
Yeah, but the thing is, bro, they ain't trying to win. They don't. They don't want to win. All that matters is that they stay. They stay in the game, and the game keep going, bro.
So
They would
now,
rather go into like a 55th overtime than
so
in
now,
this game.
but
You
now,
understand what
and
I'm saying? So that
so
I'm just saying. I did some
who does
content
that
about
really
this a
hurt
while
though?
ago. Nah, I mean,
Who?
bro, that's politics. That's politics, bro. Because the lobbyists run Washington, and as long as the lobbyists got something to lobby for, bro, they stay paid. They stay
And I
paid.
just
That's
listen
what
to
that
me.
whole drain the swamp meant. It didn't mean get rid of corrupt politicians. It meant getting rid of lobbyists. That wasn't nothing but cutting out the middleman and going straight to the plug. Like I
So
don't
now
have to
listen.
pay no lobbyists to influence my lawmakers. I'll just run for a lawmaker position. You know what I'm saying?
Now
I'll put my boys in there. That's
I
it. You
get
know what I'm
that.
saying? And I don't have to pay these damn crazy ass lobbyist retainer fees. Like that. That's what them people was. That's what MAGA was all about, bro.
But I get that. But in the long run, what I'm saying is, who is it affecting?
I mean, that's going to affect the people. That's going to affect the economy. That's going to affect the
Yeah,
value of
poor
a
working
dollar,
people
bro.
being
Like that's
put
just
into a
yeah.
financial
Okay.
hardship,
Now,
and then
Uh
at
huh.
some point their morale. I mean, even if you were going to work, like, oh man, this is when this is over. Um, we'll get out of it. After coming from COVID. A lot of people may not feel that, have that same type of mindset.
now,
It's a bad taste. I mean,
now,
I don't know
Peachy.
who up here still works or who's retired. I receive retirement, so it doesn't. Something like this doesn't make me feel a certain way because, um, I mean, I don't hardship. But then on the other side, I can see the hardship. Where hold on, that's a lot of people going in financial hardship. For how
Okay,
long? However long, I don't know. It just
so now, Peachy,
happened. We don't.
Yeah, I'm getting a phone
you,
call. I got to drop down. Thanks for having me
Peachy,
up. I'm
said
gonna listen a little bit in the class. Appreciate y'all.
you
I'll
said
probably say
this.
something
Okay.
about this.
All right.
You said this earlier, and that was my point. You put in the work to get what you're getting right now. You paid your dues. Your position is solidified. Would you agree? Hello?
Um. Yeah.
Okay. So now, by being you paid your dues and it's solidified, this doesn't affect you like it does the
But it
others,
still
right?
does affect me. It may not affect me payroll direct, but it's still gonna affect me. I'm not exempt from not being touched, from like feeling it somewhere, because there may be other income I have come in that I include with mine that isn't guaranteed, and there is. I don't just have one stream of income. So I can't easily take a L, and I have. Just like
Now
when
what?
COVID came. There are
Okay.
properties in rental, and people can't pay rent, and this is going on. Don't nobody want to Section 8 and do all this stuff no more. Took an L on rent payments. People, when they COVID came and nobody could evict anyone, and you can't force anybody to pay rent, but you couldn't evict them either because the courthouses had closed down the eviction process because of COVID, couldn't put anybody on the street. I decided, well, then I just had nobody up in the rental properties because you're not living off of me for the free ski. And I just, I just said the house would be empty.
Okay,
Now, somebody may say, wow, you would just let somebody not live. Well, I've been on the other side too, where I felt sorry for people and let homeless people sleeping in their car. I gave them a chance to come into my place, and look what happened there. It was a lose-lose. So if I got to calculate my losses, I have come very efficient in minimizing my own damages. So
okay.
I probably am thinking, like you said, a little bit ahead of how do I minimize some of these damages? Because I already know this will come, that will come. I've come taking care of those things because they happen. You don't got to tell me twice. If the first time I saw, oh, okay, so if I need the rental income, like boom, 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 how did it affect me? Can I live without it? Let me make sure I can go without anybody in the properties. Let's pay off mortgage. Like I think that way, but that's not how everybody thinks. Some people really wake up and live to each day with hand to mouth. What they get today, they get it how they live.
Okay.
And then you got, let's not pretend people don't. They get it how they live. And then with these employees, that's a lot of employees. For me, that's a lot of numbers. And they had a good mindset of, okay, I got a decent job, good benefits, all that stuff being put on hold because there's a shutdown. Their morale is down. Even the people that you forced to work, their morale is down because, well, they're forced to still work. Okay. And then you got to keep in mind, I lost my thought on that. But there's an oath. When you said something about the first responders, those type of jobs, I really want to say, I don't know the word for it, but they've taken a type of special oath and promise without, like, if they're anywhere, they're supposed to, kind of like a medic, you're supposed to still be of service. You go into those type of things, not thinking something like this will happen, but you don't just hold back, your ability to save another human life, to go in and do those things just because you're not getting any extra pay for it. You know what I mean? If something happens, something pops off, some crisis, they don't sit back and say, who paying us for this? They make that oath to still come out and respond in like crisis situations. So those are a different type set of people than your basic, neighborhood responders. But I don't know how that all ties in. I would like to think they too would come out. I don't want to think there's a fire department out here, the house on fire, and they sitting there saying, until we get our money, we ain't moving these trucks. I would really believe in my heart, no one is doing that. Like, come on now, it doesn't do anybody to burn down the whole block. Okay, you won't need your job at all if there's nothing to burn down because you done burnt it all down. I don't think anybody's just saying burn it all down. Or
so
there may be some saying that, and I digress. There may be some burn it all down type of mindsets, but that's for another day.
Okay. So, long story short, because I forgot what I was getting ready to say.
You can take your time, because I had to circle back around too.
I don't. I'm about to. It's too much. You have put yourself in a position to where you live your way like you were supposed to because of the work you did, and you make sure that you have multiple streams of income. A lot of people didn't do that and don't understand that. So long story short, BG, all I'm saying is it's always a bigger picture than the one that we see. So besides the shutdown, what's on the other side to come? Because if we go back into another pandemic, listening to you, it's not going to affect you because you are already prepared. So all I'm saying is, if we all look at it, how do we better position ourselves? Because clearly, be it Democrat or Republican, they're not going to have you in the best position because of their total end goal, which is whatever's going to benefit them and not the people.
Agreed.
All right. So
I agree with that statement.
So with that, I'm gonna say thank you because I really forgot. But if it catch me later on when I see you again, I'll say something. But
this
totally
was good
forgot.
though. This was a good opening for the start of the day. Some stuff to think about. For some people, some things to think about if you caught a little bit. You should take this life a little bit more serious. You don't ever know what might get thrown out here. I wouldn't minimize anything. I would expect the worst. I think like that though. I can't prepare for the best if I don't expect the worst. No, I don't agree with Koja with the food and everybody. No one's been regulating food, and we just been getting over poison and just eating anything. No, there's no science to back up that we are consuming non-regulated food and that I can't trust and believe. See, if we don't, there's no way we could be who we are and things would operate and even be open for business. This isn't just carts on the store. Somebody might not be regulating the food trucks out there, and we always, you know how we, baby, you see a food truck, that'd be some of the best food. I can have you a couple drinks, and it's a food truck over there with some all the goodies over there at the food truck. They may not be regulated. We might want to hope those wings had been sitting out, you know, are really in a cool enough place before we eat that chicken. We want to hope that coming from those food trucks, but you're not really asking a food truck person. So how are y'all got a health rank? You know what you come to a food truck. Look, at best you're getting something fried, okay? So you're believing you done cooked out whatever impurities coming off of there. But generally when we go and get our groceries, you guys, I don't get bad meat, okay? There are stores that sell lesser meat. You can smell it. I don't buy those. But even then, somebody's regulating. Even with the people who are cheating and sometimes kind of playing with the expiration dates, those stores that do that type of rigoring, even within that, they can only go so far. Okay. You can get shut down. We have seen businesses get shut down for infestations. I have seen restaurants, roach too many, and they were completely shut down, and it took forever. Too many. Somebody is coming in and checking that stuff. Okay. They don't owe you anything. That's one of the things about it being a government job. They don't owe the owner of Subway nothing to go. Those are especially those privately owned chains. They don't owe you anything. They go up in there, they see anything. They probably be looking for stuff to find. Actually, they do. They're not really nice people. The FDA isn't a nice branch of the government, you guys. They be looking for stuff. Let me find a piece of let me check your lettuce that's dated, right? Like they look to find stuff. That's why people can't stand, if you've ever worked in any type of food industry or known anybody or been in those coolers, they want to find something. They want to find some lettuce that's just a little too shriveled up. People go out their way if it's inspection coming. That's why they try to do impromptu inspections, not come at their design time. They want to catch folks slipping. People hate to see when they're coming. They're so meticulous. So no, I don't believe that we just living in a complete, man, every meal might be your last meal because no one's checking the food. I don't believe that. I've seen when formula has been either if not tampered with, it may potentially have gotten contaminated. Them pull it from the shelves, whatever they could catch. Over here now, I don't know about other places in the other countries, but in this country, I have seen you all. Maybe you all don't pay attention, but as a mother, I've seen them pull stuff from shelves. Like, well, the implement, they had to pull it all from the shelf. Well, which one? All of it. They're not sure, but it was a possibility. It's just a possibility of contamination. Pour that baby milk off of there before pull it off. I have seen them take batches of medication and say, yeah, about that, you got to get something else because something went wrong. Wait, what? What's going on there? Someone is regulating, whatever you want to call them. I like to think of them of a step down in the angel because somebody got to watch. We'd all been dead by now, y'all. All of us would not have made it past a Benadryl. Okay, we would have been a Benadryl away from taking a dirt nap. Somebody is watching. Rats too. Come on now. over some rats. They will. See, particular, the lines aren't the right temperature. They put that, see, come with it, Aunt. They put that thermostat in there. This could just be a bar. Yes, he's talking about a bar too. Yeah, they put that thermostat in there and check the temperature of your limes. God, and if that ain't right, bro, you should, like, are you serious? Yes. They are not just some casual, oh, I'm just looking in, okay, it look like the folks would. No, they looking. They know exactly, and they know the go-to places to go to that you might be sliding by on. So you don't want to give them no reason. Them lemons and limes better be sitting on ice, and at some point, that's why they'll throw them away quickly and put some more on there. Cucumbers, they check. The produce is the number one they go to, okay? Because there is no freezer for the produce. Produce can't be frozen. You know, it gotta come in cold. So they're coming for their produce, and they check. They really do check that stuff. Like I said, we would not be here. The world would have been died out if somebody wasn't doing this. That's why they had to be established. We were dying off from food consumption. That's a study for another day. So I'm not gonna let none of y'all make me believe the FDA does not have major benefits for every single body. All right, you just can't. I don't care what type of wool they put over our eyes and what other systems may exist. There are some that for the benefit of the population, for humanity to continue, we got to regulate some stuff. Food and drugs are one. Alcohol, two. Tobacco. Okay, I bet you won't find a pack of cigarettes that say warning. All right, who put that on the cigarettes? It wasn't enough to know that cigarettes cause cancer. They need to put it on the pack. So no, I'm not going to sit here and say they're just, fluff jobs with names and they don't do their jobs. And no, that's not even plausible. We wouldn't have made it this far. Yeah, that outrage over unsafe and adulterated conditions in the food industry, particularly in meat production. I haven't read, I don't know what year. We're going back probably early 1900s, like I thought. But that act is serious. Yeah, from shipment, poisonous, all types of substance. Somebody had to get in here. Then they get all the way down to the chemistry of it. I told you the chemistry and alchemy, we don't have that. We've lost that ability. And y'all can grow all the tomatoes you want to. You don't have a medication for everything. There may be, even if it exists. And I believe there is. We know we still got our natives out there that are living off the land. But see, even with I'm leave that alone. We don't have everything we need. None of you do. Nobody is sitting at home right now with their arms folded and saying, I ain't worried about nothing. I got everything for every ailment. I got a 10-year supply antibiotic. Well, all antibiotics ain't the same. Do you got all the antibiotics? Because some antibiotics won't work for this and some won't work for that. And this one only works for this. And the antibiotics sometimes create this issue. Let's not pretend we are biochemists up in here. I don't like when people go to pretending they are biochemists and they have figured out a way to fix everything. They don't, nobody has that. No one has ever had that. That's never existed. Something for everything, maybe most things, but everything hadn't always existed. Okay. Those people right now, you try to tell somebody on chemo, well, you should have had you something at the house. You should have had you some homemade chemo. Come on now. People need to use their services to get to where they need to get the help, the treatment, whatever help, whatever is available to them, and should not feel bad because they didn't figure out how to make homemade chemo medication. Please. Let alone do people really understand what's in it and all the radiation. But I just don't think we're capable as a person of coming up, within your house, of creating that, along with the equipment to administer it. And let's be realistic. If that were possible, then why you ain't doing it? I'm looking at folks, so are you doing that? So I come to your house and get some chemotherapy medication for my cousin. Like, nobody has that. Okay? So no, I don't want to see anyone suffer from a massive shutdown and it trickles down. I don't want programs. I don't want to see them shut off. I don't care what they did, because people still, life is precious, and everybody loves somebody, or somebody loves everybody, however you want to say it. But there's just some things we're just not capable of doing. You can grow all the tomatoes and okra and all that extra stuff you want to in due season. But last I checked, this was fall. This is not a harvest season. Why y'all always want to throw up to the easiest stuff to grow, like tomatoes and okra? I don't see nobody. Where y'all livestock at? I don't see people with too much livestock. Right now, no one's governing the livestock. Like I said, people could be out here doing, hey, Misha, out here doing whatever to the chickens. I got a neighbor, I don't know why they got them chickens over there. I was wondering why I kept hearing those sounds, but they got some chickens in their backyard. I'm not even in the country, but I'm just saying. No one's policing them at this time. I would like for that not to be that way. People do really dirty things out there in the farm industry, okay? There needs to be consequences. We can't just have people off the job. So no one has it all. No one's just sitting up high with everything and needs nobody for nothing and can survive without any help or resources whatsoever. You go into a heart attack and you don't know, you don't need 911. You all figured out how to just work your way on up out of that. I just don't think that's plausible for anybody to believe that. And I don't think you've done anything wrong because you've yet to set up a garden. I ain't growing nothing today, tomorrow, or yesterday. And I'm going to eat some of the juiciest tomatoes I can find. The most organic. I bet y'all be eating them. Okay? I bet y'all still get it. So y'all stop guilt tripping other folk into not doing that, because I've seen people after the pandemic going to doing all these things and they're going to grow. And I'm like, and just how long are you going to live off of those? Cherry tomatoes are not going to feed you forever. And when they run out, you're going to need to replenish your soil. There's all type of things. Ain't nobody that's stocked up. Come on, y'all. And if you are, you will be the first one getting raided. Okay, you will be, and let's not forget gasoline. See, I didn't even touch that. I'm not going to even go there and try to go to gasoline, oil. I remember that live I did, and gas ran out down south. It was a shortage on gasoline. I don't know, probably up north too. I know down south the gas was running out, and it took me 5 or 7 gas stations to find some 93 gasoline for the I was going from gas station to gas station to try to fill my tank up. Everybody out of gas. People from Georgia was coming to Alabama using up our gas. Now we got to go down further. I had to go to the most out the way in the hood where nobody, like, to get that cap of gasoline for my car. I had to put it was several stops before as soon as I pull up at the pump, out of gas, no gas, stop. Y'all remember that I did that live, and it was about 5 gas stations before I finally found somebody not close to my house, and I filled that baby up till it was running. I put every drop I could in there, and had I had cans around, see, that's what I'm talking about. Who just got big gas cans around? Not the little red ones, but the big oil gas cans. See, people talk that talk. It's easy to talk it, but when you live in it, who actually went out now after that gas shortage, y'all, and went and bought massive cans? Know how to properly store it without blowing up the dang on block? Nobody. Every time we have a storm and power outage go out, how many folks actually take the time and buy a generator? You don't even want to see people you don't even want folks to know you running with a generator, because it started to make people kind of be like, oh, we know what house got a generator. You be running it like, keep the lights off and let's just keep the fridge plugged in. Shout out to look, like they don't even want you to see their house lit up if they're running a generator, which, by the way, still takes gasoline, which not many people got stored to run the generator. And you can't pump the gas without power. So sometimes you just got a generator just sitting there and you don't have enough gasoline to run. See, don't get me to breaking it all down. Okay. Good to see you, Misha. But let me see. Walmart now has to get nicotine gum. Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. Ain't that something? Misha, what's going on in Canada, girl? Misha, tell us, put in the comment what's going on over there in Canada. See how Misha's sitting, see how Misha's sitting her avatar, y'all. With chances of us sitting like that, because we ain't worried about nothing, are slip to dud, okay? Somewhere is somebody on some of these medications, you can say you stocked up to the cows come home, but there's a thing called expiration date. And there's a reason why things have expiration dates. They don't work as good as they would have. The shelf life of things is a real thing. So don't get too comfortable thinking that you good for the next whatever. Shelf life is real. But any of that's all I really had. I wanted to hear what people just kind of browse, you guys' brain a little bit, see where your mindsets were. Make sure see if you all are paying attention. And that kind of, that gave me some things to think about, like where people are, how you are, what you think. I never feel like, oh, I'm just beyond getting feel a little bit of a little pressure, because I've seen things and been like, ooh, felt that, even with all that I've done, I still will fall short somewhere. So that's a lot of people, though, to be sitting and just worrying and looking. I haven't seen any more updates, you guys. I wish I don't want this shutdown to last long. I don't think this shutdown at all is going to wake up humanity to do something major. I don't. Unfortunately, people are stuck in their ways. Unfortunately, people don't know any other way. Okay. But I'm not for just stripping everything from them at one time. I mean, if you're going to start to cut back and scale back on how you feed people or provide, it should be done gradually so they can kind of ease on to, and while they're going into it, learn other ways and to do things. But taking it all at once and just being like, bam, hey, I mean, it's gonna hurt. It will hurt. And people need to remember, hurt people hurt folks. So while you may not necessarily be a person that someone getting shut off their housing or government housing, they just get shut off. A lot of people get shut down. It may not affect you, but see how you think these people feeling, and they're looking at, they driving, they're gonna start getting mad, right? They feel some type of way. They're gonna start all these houses sitting around that are empty. So that's exactly what's gonna happen. Let me tell you what's gonna happen. Malik asked the question. He said, "What the foresight? What's the foresight of something like this happening?" Okay, you keep shutting stuff down. Squatting, those laws on squatting didn't quite get updated as they should have after COVID. Hence why I moved the way I moved with the real estate stuff. Okay, those squatting laws did not get. They got overlooked. They didn't get in. They didn't get a firm grab. That wasn't a priority. Y'all know how many empty houses out here, how many communities and new, big, beautiful houses, not just empty old houses. I'm talking about empty new houses, empty modern houses, empty up-to-date houses. You know what people who homeless and tired and their kids on the street about to do? Keep shutting down all of their ability to have some type of housing. No rooms and shelters. They're going to go right up over, open up a door to these empty houses with their kids and set up camp in there and start squatting. Now you're going to get frustrated as a taxpayer, property taxpayer, mortgage payer, rent, whatever it is you're paying, when you know the house next to you, them folks over here squatting, but ain't nothing you can do about it because the squatting laws just got ignored, and you can squat for quite some time. It's professional squatters out of here. And if you get them out of that one, they'll just go over to another one. Once they're in there, that's the thing. Once they're in there, they're in there. Good luck. Then that affects the people that actually own that property, because now they're mad. They're paying taxes on a house that someone's living in for the free ski. Now they're losing money. They can't even rent it out. Someone's squatting it. They can't, trying to sell it, getting the squatters out. It's a headache. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't say, well, I'm straight, I'm good, I'm sitting up high and mighty. And the haves and the have-nots begin a war. Guess what? Those have-nots gonna start coming onto the haves territory. They're gonna start invading. And then that's here we come, the invaders. Intruder alert. Get desperate enough and don't have a roof over you and your children's head and see a house sitting somewhere empty and with electricity in it. But see, a lot of times they don't need the lights. They just need a roof over their head. They're going to get into their house. They are going to sit there. They're going to squat there. And they're going to be like, the hell with you in your section there. We living better now than we was then. People go get real creative. And the rest of us will just get real frustrated because, wow, you're still going out here busting your butt to pay for, your average home, and they over there squatting in a $2.5 million mansion that was just been sitting here on the market. Them squatters gonna say, forget this, I'm finna go. So if I'm gonna squat in the most biggest mansion I can find. Bring some of our family members over, and then it's gonna get real. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there. But anyway, you guys, I'm out of steam. All right, this was interesting, but that's something for y'all to think about, okay? You thought you were good walking to your car with your bug and your groceries. People jack food too. And like I said earlier, when they had those stamps got cut down, people just went in the store and just took the food. There was no security at the door. There was no grocery policeman standing there to arrest anybody who just walked straight out with a bucket full of food. Like, move out of my way. They couldn't do nothing about those people who just barricaded their way throughout those stores with a bucket full of groceries, and just individually, all their family just started pouring this, taking the stuff out the bucket, putting it in the trunk, all type of stuff, meats, chicken, food, cereals, the kids too. Like, forget y'all, we not finna be hungry. No one's governing grocery stores, policing the food stores. Okay, they too busy over here at K Jewels and Tiffany's and out here trying to put up security there, but you just walk up out of the grocery store with a grocery full of a buggy full of stuff. Nothing can be done, especially when you got 3, 4, 5 people doing it at the same time. Man, please. So yes, Malika was right with people. If that's a hustle type of mindset, there's also a theft type of mindset. So not stealing. Stealing becomes the new go-to. Well, I can't get it, so I'll just steal it. Well, then that starts to affect the rest of the people and prices. It's just not a winning situation for anybody. It's not favorable for anyone. So no, I don't wish for people to lose stuff dramatically, to be crippled by a system to the point of you just not even trying. Well, y'all got to keep in mind too, those people aren't winning. They've crippled their mindsets. They've allowed them and their children and those after to go into, y'all talk about generational wealth. No, generational poverty is a thing that they're just continuing on generational poverty, which also, they're not winning. Depends on what you call winning. I have a control over there. Someone else is governing their company. Got to come in and inspect this and inspect that. You got to fill in this form and turn that out. It's just not complete freedom. If anyone's abused the system to the point of absolute, absurdness, Well, that's just unfortunate for them. They missed out on living a life. Okay, and got to hide and duck and dodge and manipulate. That seemed like a whole lot of work. Okay, you're not winning, and somebody still falls short because you're just passing on generational poverty. That's not winning. Okay, and that too comes along with the need to want to educate and get a job, and betterment of life is for everybody. So anyway, that's for today, you guys. I hope, I do know people, I know quite a few who are impacted by this. That I don't know if they went to work today or not. I haven't found out. I didn't get a text back from my son. I asked him, hey, he's in Germany, but still he does work for the United States Air Force, and I don't know what's going on. Like, hey, well, I haven't heard back on the air trafficking side. I'm curious about that. And they are still, I checked, they are still reporting to work. They're just not getting paid because that's a serious job. That's why I'm like, they can't just not come to work. You got to watch the plan. You just can't go, not come. I mean, you could, but the effects are going to be terrible. So other than a few plane delays, it looks like air traffic controllers are still controlling the air. Like they're showing up. And with it basically being a military job, they have to. But there are some expected flight delays for commercial flights, and some canceled, it looks like, and things of that nature on a smaller scale. On a larger scale, nothing's happened yet, and they do get the folks watching the skies. Because I was like, hold up now. Somebody got to watch. The pilots can't see past a certain radius of what's coming at them. And somebody's supposed to be watching too for types of invaders, okay, UFOs, I don't know, whatever y'all up here is watching the skies for. Okay, they ain't supposed to be coming into our exosphere. Whatever's supposed to be coming in our exosphere, you're supposed to be watching for that. Y'all can't just not be here. Okay, NASA ain't closed, y'all. NASA is up and running. Okay, let me go on my app and see what I bet you NASA working. That is government. NASA is government. Y'all think NASA didn't go to work today? And they just did last week a 3-rocket expedition? Y'all think NASA didn't show up? NASA went to work. But I did say buggy. Should I have said a shopping cart for DOD? He's laughing because I said buggy, y'all. But it's a buggy. Okay, it was shopping cart. Let me be more, DOD, you hang on to every little word, okay? But like I said, they pushing out with the food in their buggies. NASA is working because they just sent the 3 rockets up there, and we want to hear what's going on, preparing for that space race 2026 with Artemis 2. And apparently we got Buddy at the Sun. Parker is still giving us data coming in about the sun's inner core and the temperature. So we're keeping up with that. Yes, I'll be over there on NASA. So yeah, NASA's still working. They haven't said a word. I also would assume astrophysics and space engineering is on a higher pay scale, so they're probably still getting paid. I don't think NASA, they haven't taken their paychecks away, but I don't think everybody at NASA make that amount of money. I don't know. I'm gonna go find out what's a typical. I've actually looked that up before, you guys. So I know everybody doesn't make that. I've looked up the income of the typical average astro physicist and space engineering. I've already done that. So the entry level, everybody does not start off up there at that type of pay, but they're still working. Okay. Anyway, this was an interesting conversation. DOD always got to be trolling and stuff. But yeah, some people we know are affected. That's a lot of people. This is quadruple the amount they have had, literally, ever in a government shutdown. So we better hope this 4 million better not last a month. It don't need to go past a day or two as far as I'm concerned. Can y'all wrap this up? That's a lot. That's too many people. Everybody should know somebody. You think of that. Hold on a minute. That's too many. That's too many people. So let me see what I got here. He's really doing a lot. This entire sidebar stuff that NASA got going on in the lunar economy that he's trying to get running up under his administration is coming off real, how do I say this? Not only impossible, unnecessary, suspicious, and forces me to believe people are going to be manipulating a lot of stuff for people to just hack into this money from the moon. He really wanted it done during his administration. And I'm just trying to figure out how lunar economy is going to benefit planet Earth. Like, what you trying to do here? What, dang, you want to be the first to set off a lunar economy? We can't trust that. I'm not putting my money in moon bugs. Like, what are you doing here? But that's a conversation for another day, because you really have to be following them and keeping up with that type of stuff to see what they're trying to do with that. But I'm not putting my money in moon bugs. Watch how all them Bitcoin people finna be over there right now. I already can't wait. Yeah, I'm about to get in some of these moon dogs. Man, y'all about to lose all your, but I'm not doing it. So yeah, I'm keeping up with it. And then them trying to harvest the oil, the helium from the moon and bring it here. Like, how greedy can you be? See, we're gonna do a live on greed. How greedy do you be? Dang. You're exhausting all our resources. You think the God is going to let you just come and take another planet's gasoline and bring it somehow back to Earth? Like, come on, y'all are tripping. We don't deserve nobody else's resources. We don't take care of our own, okay? But yeah, I'm on that too. Every day I'm watching them on that. But that's what's going on exactly. And trying to get the U.S. to be the first country to beat the others to harvest gas from the moon. And it's supposed to benefit us how? Please. That sounds like a real... Okay. I'm just going to leave it alone before this whole thing turns into me fussing at NASA. But, that's what he's doing. And I'm not buying it. I'm just like, really? So you couldn't get... Are you trying to piss off the Saudis because you can't control their gas the way you want to and trying to manipulate so them to think that you actually about to go to the moon and suck up all of their gas and bring it back to Earth? Like, are we supposed to be like making people feel some type of way? They're probably laughing like, oh, please, because if that could have been done, it would have been done. What make it like this administration got type of superpowers? You don't have UFOs. You don't have the aliens helping you. You don't have Iron Man over in MAGA. No one's gonna make it up. Stop wasting our money. Let me get off here, y'all, before I start playing. But it's kind of like, oh, this your way to get back over there at the Saudis. They made you mad. So now you're going to convince them that you're going to get your oil and gas from the moon. Really? So we couldn't have been doing that? Oh, we can only do that during their administration, his administration. Okay, I got you. So nobody else could pull this off. Right. The believability of it all. Anyway, you guys, just I don't want to see anybody just up and lose their livelihood. I don't want financial hardship on anybody, because financial hardship on one person does extend itself. Okay, it does. That's just the way it is. And we talking about 4 million peoples that run. I don't know I bet if you took the 4 million, you know what? I'm going to try to see. I don't even know how to do that type of math. And all those jobs, I got someone is doing it. the mathematics of, oh, that's impossible. Oh gosh, that would include so many resources, agencies, and operation systems to get a grand scale of the number of people affected by the 4 million would probably quadruple that. You see what I'm saying? 4 million government employees out of a job would probably end up something like 16, 20 million Americans affected directly, which causes them, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's how it goes. But don't quote my math on that, but it would be something like that. It would be a massive quadrupulation of the number. One person's job, it just affects this many people. So yeah, you take that number, then you multiply. It would be catastrophic. It would be bad. Okay, no one would win. People be out here breaking into those stores, equipment stores, medical supply stores, the places that people don't really be bothering. The pharmacy might have all the drugs locked up, but when have you ever seen those wheelchairs over there locked up? When have you ever seen like some of that stuff? People just gonna go back there and get it. And we don't want that because that leads to violence, theft, and all type of other things. People get hurt. I mean, let the people get their Medicare wheelchair. You don't got to shut it all down. Oh, y'all, but I'm tired. I'll just try to keep up with the updates just to keep up with them. But you all said you saw it coming. Yeah, I did too. I was surprised at the 4 million, not surprised at the rest. But I didn't think 4 million. But I'm not shocked. So that's true. But that's a lot. But if I'm based off the numbers when I went into the whole thing with the horsemen, yeah. All right, you guys, y'all go on with your day. I'm going on mine. Thank you so much. We're out of here. Good luck and God bless, or whatever you got going on. All right, bye, you guys.